Hi, I'm Rigger. This is You're Right, and today let's just have some fun. Before that though, be sure to like the video if you like it, share anything else you would like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe if you want to see more. So today, we're giving Team RWBY Pokemon teams. Why? Well, a few reasons. One, I just wanted to do some more sort of fun videos like this. You know, a lot of my big videos take a long time to write, so this is just some fun. Two, I want to start doing some Pokemon content here and there on the channel, and this is a nice little transition point. Three, it's actually my birthday when this video comes out, and I wanted to get a video out before that so I could relax for a day. And also, for real, I find it quite interesting to use Pokemon teams as kind of like character summaries, using that restrictive 6 slots to try and represent a character as best you can. I just find that interesting. But I wanted to make this a little more challenging, because of course I did, so I laid out a few little ground rules, because I plan to do more of these with some of the other team members and characters, so it just make it more interesting. First off, no repeating starters. There aren't enough starters to give one to everyone in the show, but I'm not allowed to repeat any of them, so once I've given them to someone, that's their starter. And also, most of the main characters, or as many as I can, will have one. Next up, restrictive legendaries, meaning the most you can have is 2, but I'm limiting it to 1 as much as possible, and if you're getting a second one, it's likely going to be more mythical or an ultra beast or something like that, or you might get 2 mythicals, but that's the most you're getting. And the same goes for the legendaries, I'm not repeating any of them. And that also is the third rule, no repeating regular Pokemon except in very special circumstances where it's related to those 2 characters, such as links between them. So I'm trying to give everyone as unique of a team as I can. And also, while it's not a rule, I try my best to also do type diversity where I can, so if there's 2 choices, I might pick one that makes a better team if I can, so we'll do it that way. So, let's do it! First up is, of course, the leading lady, none other than Ruby Rose. So immediately I ran into an issue because I couldn't pass up giving her a Scyther because of course I had to, then I had to wrestle with myself because Scissor is actually perfect for her colour scheme, but giving her one of each would take up a slot that I want for other things. So I had to choose and will stick with making it a Scyther, but just know it has the potential to become a Scissor and fit her colour scheme perfectly, but we'll stick with the Scythes because she needs one. But since we are covering Crescent Rose, we have the Scythe part covered, but there's a lot more to it than that. We all know it's also a high-impact sniper rifle, aka it's also a gun. So, we step in with the best sniper in Pokemon, and there's only one man for that job, and that would be Ruby's starter. And that means she has an Inteleon. But there is more to Ruby than her weapons, but just real quick we'll dip in and give her the goodest boy because we know she needs one, as Y would travel with her over the globe if he could, and in Pokemon he can. So there's only one thing for it, she gets a Yamper, because it's adorable. All hails Y. But now, the big one, we need to move on to her secret power, her ancient gift, the cleansing light of God, Silver Eyes. For this, I needed something powerful and blindingly bright. I know you're gonna want to say Ultra Necrozma, but it just doesn't fit as well, because if there's one thing that's iconic about Ruby in her first appearance and the signature shot that became synonymous with the series in general, it is her against the moon, which is why her legendary is the very fitting Lunala, with its Moongeist beam. But next up, she is Ruby Rose. She has always had the emblem of a rose. Her last name is Rose, and her legacy she's living up to is that of her mother, Summer Rose, so I had to give her a rose. Hence Ruby here has a Roselia. But lastly, to round out the team, we need to address something else. Ruby's speed. She entered the show on the selling point that she is literally super fast Little Red Riding Hood, so there is only one fitting Pokemon. Incredibly high speed stat, runs around in a red hood. She rounds out her team with an Excelgor. But next up now, we move on to Weiss Schnee, the once heiress to the STC, now dedicated huntress trying to save the world. But no matter what she does, she cannot escape her family name, so unfortunately she, and every Schnee, is weighed down with a Cryogonal. It's not very pretty looking and quite representative of the STC's reputation, but she's got it. But that is alright because she is more than a name, and the Schnees can do a lot more than run a company. They can also summon. So, it is only right that she has some summons. First being the Great Knight and Protector, so it seems only fitting that she should have her own ancient guardian, a Golurk. But it does not stop there. She also has at her disposal the fearsome Queen Lancer. Therefore, the Ice Queen is also packing a Vespiquen. But if there was something Weiss is known for other than summoning, it is Murtnaster and her glyphs. Being raised in the Schnee household, dust wasn't a problem and she's proficient with basically every kind, rotating and changing her element to whatever is needed. That sounds like there is only one answer to bulk up this team. Many consider her best girl, so why shouldn't she have a god that can rotate its elements? Weiss's legendary is Arceus. But we all have other talents too. We all have to start somewhere. Weiss was introduced to us singing on stage, and she definitely came in as a prima donna. Therefore, there's only one fitting starter for her, and that is Primarina. And to finish up, Weiss has told us before that she has plenty of horses, and I believe her, but more than that, she needs a sword to fence with. And if any character is heading towards being OP with a legendary and a mythical, then it's her. So she can take her sword in the form of a Keldeo. But now we move over to the shadows and the darker side of the group. The faunus and ninja of the team, we have beauty herself, Blake Belladonna. Blake is a lot of things, but she is absolutely a ninja of the group, which means it's only fitting that that's how she started, and her starter is strong and fast. She has a Greninja. Next up, you know it was unavoidable that we address the cat in the room. While there are many cats I could choose from, unfortunately for colour scheme, thematic, and parental reasons, I unfortunately need to burden Blake with a Purloin. Not only is it sneaky, hence its name, but its evolution is also a perfect fit for her mother's colours, so my hands are tied, and I guess spoilers for what Carly's team would contain. Not to worry though, because we'll make up for it with some real power. Blake has always used shadows to her advantage, be it with stealth or with her semblance, and it's no different here. You should run for the hills, because Blake has a Marshadow. But what would Blake be without her signature weapon? Gamble Shroud may be many things, but one of those is a sword that's a cut above the rest. And what would a ninja be without their katana? So here is Blake with her katana. But Gamble Shroud is more than a sword, its whip-like ribbon is very useful. Considering Blake is also proficient in hand-to-hand combat, there's only one fitting Pokemon she should have, and that is one little martial arts master that uses its whip-like fur to close the distance and beat you down. So here she is, with her Mind Shower. And even better, its own colour scheme. And lastly, to round out Blake's team, is something dark, quick, and crafty that will slash you to pieces to match her style. Her combat is cool and fierce, and so is this little guy. She has a dangerous little Weavile. And the final member of our team, Ruby's sister and all-around badass Yang Xiaolong. With lethal fists, a style to match, and a short temper, there is no more fitting way to start off her first team member. The classic punchy rage monkey. She has a primate. But we all have to start somewhere, and she needs a starter. Let's see, she's a tank with burning fists of fire, so Yang comes in heavy with an Ember. Before anyone gets mad at me, I know, Infernape, it even has flaming hair, how could I possibly not give it to her? But remember the rules, and it fits too well elsewhere. Plus, Ember on the other hand literally lights its fists on fire and goes in swinging. But despite its ferocity, the Pokédex makes sure to point out that it cares deeply about its friends, which sounds like Yang to me. Next though is her legendary, because she is Yang Xiaolong, the sunny little dragon. I originally wanted to say Solgaleo, so it's opposite to Ruby and the sun, but there is just one better. With a glorious mane of hair, burning flames at its disposal, and the embodiment of truth itself, which Yang is very passionate about, there's simply none other that it could be than the fearsome Reshiram. However, if there's one thing Yang has had trouble with her entire life, it really is her anger. In fact, when she is angry, you can even see it physically change as her eyes actively switch colours. Wait, an anger switch. Oh yeah, that would be why she has this Morpeko. However, anger issues are not the only thing we learned through Yang. It is in fact that we need not be symmetrical. Her greatest defeat became her teacher, and with a prosthetic replacement, she can keep firing those blasts from the guns on her arms forevermore. She is armed and ready, she is quick on the draw, just like this Galarian Slowbro. And finally, we've discussed her problems with spiking emotions, but we also couldn't leave without discussing her signature and incredible mane of hair. Not only has it been a staple of her design since the beginning, but she's pretty touchy about it. So, considering those strong emotions, there's only one thing for it. Consisting almost entirely of hair, she rounds out her team with the feminine vibe check queen of the Pokemon world, a Hatterene. And with that, we round out not just Yang's squad of 6, but all of Team RWBY. So what do you all think? The teams are relatively diverse. Who would win in a battle? What do you think of my choices and reasoning for the teams? Do you agree or disagree? Is there anything you'd change or Pokemon that other characters need to have in the future? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for indulging me on this fun little video. It's something I've wanted to make for a long time. But until next time, my name is Rigger, I hope you have a wonderful day, trainers, and I hope I did alright.